Hey, it's Jen from Not So Mystical Tarot. This is going to be your reading for career, money, and finance for Sun, Moon, or Rising sign of Cancer, September 2019. You can find me on Instagram at Not So Mystical Tarot and NotSoMysticalTarot.com if you look a personal or a private reading. Otherwise, let's get going. What do we have for Cancer's career, money, finance, September 2019? Well, that's awesome. You've got the World, which means every opportunity is completely and entirely right in front of you, and the Queen of Swords. All right, Cancer, but what we're talking about here with this Queen of Swords is you need to have your like helmet of logic on. Like you cannot let anything else rule your decisions but logic. You have all this stuff available to you, but you cannot afford to get emotional about it. You have to make your business decisions and your financial decisions, your career decisions out of logic. We were talking about this with Gemini a little bit, sort of in this realm where you may have people that appeal to you and they want something from you, but they don't necessarily want you to prosper. They just want what you've got. You've got to be very careful of that. And you are a water sign. You are emotional. You are tender. You tend to connect with people readily, and that's important that you notice that you know that when heading into all of this opportunity. This Queen of Swords, she is just all logic. It's right. It's wrong. This makes sense. This doesn't make sense. So from a business and career, money, finance perspective, really important to keep her in your corner this time so that you don't make mistakes. Now, coming up with this, all these opportunities is the Tower. And don't get all freaked out. I love the Tower card because it says, hey, listen, if something like here, you got this Queen for a reason. If you see some kind of problem off in the distance with one of these opportunities, do not ignore it. If you ignore it, I talk about this a lot with this Tower card. It's like if you see something festering off in the distance and you ignore it, what happens? It blows up at whatever time it blows up. If you have the option of being proactive and not reactive, of marching over there and going, okay, I see this problem, let's fix it right now. That's kind of what we've got going on here. If you have all these opportunities and you don't use this Queen of Swords to your advantage and you just kind of like, yeah, whatever, it's okay, it's going to blow up at the most inopportune time possible for you, and that is not something that you want. It will just create more and more havoc for you, okay? Now, coming up here, I like this. With this Queen of Swords is the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is about planning, but on the short term. Like, this is like, let's just handle September. Like, you don't have to plan the next 10 years of your life right now. I think you're going through some changes, and you're kind of embarking on a little bit of a different path, and especially with all these opportunities coming up and maybe some hiccups you got to deal with that are in your path. You're working with this Queen of Swords, which is kind of like a little bit of an unfamiliar territory, being a little cut and dry. Just planning for the next month or so is really enough, okay? It's really enough just to get you, it's like baby steps, like you don't have to plan it all right now. You just got to handle your business right at this moment. There's always time for long-range planning and things like that a little bit down the road, but you just got to get your footing. Now, let's get a little more information. We have got the Fool. I love that. Love the Fool for you. And the Nine of Swords. Okay, so the Fool is about stepping out. It's about leaving your comfort zone and following what you really want. Okay, what you want, not what other people want for you, not what your, people who just want to kind of hang on to you and get what you've got, not what they want. This is about what you truly want, what will truly make you happy, and it's about you taking a deep breath and like stepping off that ledge. It may not be guaranteed. Most likely it's not a guaranteed success. It's not guaranteed progress, and that's what makes you worry. Here you got the Nine of Swords. You're kind of up all night, or if you wake up in the night, the first thing on your mind is this decision, and this, oh my gosh, should I do this? I don't know if I should do this. Maybe this isn't right. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And you know what? As soon as you make the decision that this is what you're going to do, you're much better off, and this worrying stops. So you can't keep hemming and hawing about whether you'll take that step off the cliff. You have to decide either I'm going to do it or I'm not. And either way, the worrying stops when you make the decision. Now, very interesting here, you've got the Seven of Pentacles coming up. And I love the Seven of Pentacles, and I will explain why. I've used this analogy a lot recently, and people I've gotten a ton of messages about it, so I'm going to do it again just in case you haven't heard it. The Seven of Pentacles is about being really choosy. Now, stepping off this ledge, you may have a whole bunch of ideas, but be very careful about the one that you choose to go with. And like here, if you picture this as an apple tree, notice that she doesn't have a whole basket of apples with her, right? A whole basket of these flowers that she's picked. She's just kind of checking them out. If you were out in an orchard and it was time to eat something, you were, wow, I'm really hungry, would you pick up an apple off the ground and say, oh, well, this one's been here a couple days, it's kind of old and rotty, I'll eat this one? Or would you look on the tree and go, well, this one's perfectly ripe, I'll take this one, it's the right time, it's the right one for me? You take the one that's the right one for you. So really, even you have a lot of opportunities available to you. Don't just jump off the ledge at the first one. Really think about it and then make your choice, be decisive, and do that one thing, okay? And now you have this Nine of Swords, the worrying. And like I said, when you finally make a decision, the worrying stops. Well, look what you have come up here. You have the Ace of Pentacles coming up, and Pentacles are your career, money, finance, and the aces are always a gift from the universe. So the universe is like, hey, here you go. Now that you've made a decision, here's your opportunity. Take the opportunity. So I really feel like you have a lot of opportunity to be very successful. You are going to need to be slightly decisive about opportunities because you have more than one available, which, wow, you could have worse things happening, right? So I would love to hear how this resonates for you. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon.